The Epstein files have finally been released after years of they're coming, they're not coming, this week, no, next week. And if you think that roller coaster was purely a coincidence, you've been played. I'm Mark, therapist, author of Dark Psychology Defence Toolkit. I specialise in helping people overcome anxiety and narcissistic abuse, and today I want to show you how suspense was weaponized to control how you react when those files were finally dropped, because the delay, that was the setup, and the release, that's the punchline. So let's talk about what's happened to your brain over the last 5 years. In 2020, you were told the files are coming. In 2021, there was a court order, they'll be released soon. Then in 2022, they were delayed because of national security reasons. 2023, you were told any day now. 2024, the release was postponed. 2025, Trump was telling you what files. 2026, and boom, 3.5 million pages have finally been dropped overnight. Pages of heavily redacted information. This isn't bureaucracy. This is anticipation engineering. In hypnosis, we use a technique called frustrating a response. We can also stretch and compress your perception of time to create an emotional response in you. When we delay gratification, when we frustrate your response, we're not just building anticipation, we're building your investment in the event finally occurring. Every time you heard the files are coming, your brain filled with dopamine. You told yourself, when this dropped, everything will change. By the time the files were actually released, you weren't just reading them objectively, you were searching for the payoff. The payoff your brain had been promised for half a decade. Here's what controlled disclosure actually looks like. After years of suspense, the files are finally released with heavy redactions. But then there's glitches, names start appearing. Deepak Chopra, Stephen Hawking, a few celebrities, a few questionable politicians. Reddit lights up, Twitter explodes. Everyone feels like they've cracked the code. When you discover information, especially if that information was previously hidden, you trust it more than if you just stumbled across it. Your brain releases dopamine, you feel clever, you feel like an insider. And in that moment of victory, your critical filters drop. You stop asking, why were these specific names allowed to be leaked? Who benefits from these people being in the spotlight or taking the fall? What am I not seeing while I'm focused on this? Because the most important information in those files isn't the names everyone's talking about, it's what's being redacted, it's the financial information, the shell companies, the money trails, the institutional protections. But most of you aren't thinking about that. You're too busy celebrating the names you were given. So how do you protect yourself from this kind of manipulation? Let's look at a technique. We're going to call it the suspense filter. Firstly, you want to recognize the build-up. If something's delayed repeatedly over years, ask yourself, what is this priming me to feel? Anticipation isn't neutral, it's programming. Secondly, when the information finally drops, pay attention to your emotional reaction. Whatever you're feeling, that's probably what they wanted you to feel. When you feel like when you think you're being manipulated, whatever you're feeling, that's what the manipulator wanted you to feel. Those emotions are hypnotic primers. They bypass logic. Your job is to notice them before you get swept up free. Ask the redirect question. What am I being distracted from? The most effective propaganda doesn't hide the truth. It just makes sure that you're looking at the wrong part of it. While everyone's talking about celebrity names, who's talking about the banks, the lawyers, the offshore accounts? Finally, number 4, there's the 4-hour rule. If a leak becomes a headline in less than 48 hours, it's not a leak, it's a broadcast, it's a press release, it's what you were meant to see. Look, I'm not here to tell you about those files, I'm not here to debate what's in them, I'm here to tell you how the delivery mechanism is being used to shape your perception. 5 years of delay was a psychological setup. It wasn't a legal defense. By the time those files dropped, your brain was primed to see exactly what you were meant to see. If you want to learn more about hypnotic techniques, understand how dark psychology and propaganda is used to manipulate you, I've written extensively about this in my books. You can find details of them in the description down below. But you don't need my books to protect yourself. You just need to start noticing the pattern. If you've liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below, tell me what videos you'd like to see next. Thank you for watching and goodbye.